Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Tech Tuesday. This month I will be talking about how to make email work for you. But first, allow me to introduce myself.
My name is Lonnie Stanley, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Kimmel Group. I was born and raised in Philadelphia, and I'm happy to call the Philadelphia area my home. I have over 30 years of IT experience, specializing in email design, deployment, migration, and management, as well as end-user support. One of my first jobs after I received my college degree was as an email administrator in the city of Norfolk, Virginia. It's pretty interesting because at the time, email wasn't known to many people. And when I told my mother I was an email administrator, she was confused and I had to explain to her what it was. My role as email administrator was to deploy a new email system that was going to be used by the city manager and all his direct reporting staff, which was basically all the chief officers of the city of Norfolk. And I think one of the most challenging things was having them use a keyboard. We were using old-fashioned, large, dumb terminals, basically, or computers connected to a mainframe. And they had to use the keyboard, which many had not used in their lives. And I remember one gentleman who was very well educated, had several degrees on his wall. He was having a hard time just typing his name into the computer. And I asked him, I said, I don't mean to be funny, sir, but you have all these degrees on the wall. How are you able to graduate without having computer skills or typing skills? And he says, well, when he grew up and coming through college, they had their papers typed for them. So he really never, ever used a keyboard. And even now, he said he was going to have his administrative assistant access his email. So that was my first introduction to email. My first job as an email administrator. It was also in college that I experienced my first exposure to email. I was working in the computer lab at Old Dominion University in Norfolk, Virginia, and a colleague of mine said he would write me while he was home for summer in Spain. Now, I asked if he had my address, and he said yes, but I was skeptical. A week later, I received an email on our DEC-VAX system from him. He sent it using a network called BitNet, which was a predecessor to the internet that we know today, and it connected universities and research centers throughout the world. Now, we had already used email to send to each other across campus, but this was from Spain, so I was really impressed. And that was my first exposure to email back in 1986.
I'm sure you can imagine how much email has changed since its inception in 1971. It's grown over time and has seen some major milestones. In 1971, Ray Tomlinson sent the first email. And in 1982, the actual word email was first used. In 1996, Microsoft released Internet Mail, or what we now know as Outlook. And in 98, they purchased Hotmail for $400 million. Fast forward to 2016, Gmail passed the 1 billion active user mark.
Now, almost everyone has at least one email address. I personally have 4 that I check, and my daughter has 5 as a college graduate student. Most personal technology, like your iPhone, your laptop, require an email for use and updates. Do you think Ray Tomlinson could have imagined that?
What can we look forward to for the future of email? According to Inc.com, email will be more visual, with links and images already uploaded upon opening the email. Contact images will actually load in your address book. You'll be able to know who's sending you the message visually. Email will be more interactive with possible 3D space visualization on your smartphone or tablet. And email will give us, as users, more control via personalization and programmability. Apple and Google are already moving to make these predictions a reality, and I personally can't wait. It'll also be interesting to see what role AI, or artificial intelligence, will play in how we read, send, and manage our email. That's it for today's episode. Tune in next time as I continue to discuss email and suggest some solutions to common email issues. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and be sure to subscribe on my website for all up-to-date content.